Clinton Jaws, guys. That's who I am. I used to be a cop. Not a cop anymore. I just complain a lot. Look at this stupid thing. See, I'm going to complain about this. It's supposed to be back here. It drives me nuts. Why can't I just set this up properly? Yeah, I used to be a... I had a guy comment on my page. He's like, man, all you do is complain. God, have you seen the world? I don't go around all day long complaining. Oh, maybe I do. I don't know what my point is. Yeah, maybe I complain too much. That's me. That's me. What do you expect? Do you know who I worked for 20 years? Complainers. Complainants. I worked for them. People that complained. Everybody. Oh, and I'm going to tell you something later. You want to see who the next batch of complainers are? So maybe that's why I complain. I complain about the complainers. Does that make sense? I think I'm making sense. I think I'm actually making sense. Oh, man, I haven't been on here for a while. Guys, I'm getting old. Have you noticed that everybody's microdosing nowadays? That's all you hear about. Microdosing has taken over. So I started microdosing Cialis. And then I started feeling like a pussy. So now I macrodose Viagra. Microdosers. Be a man. Like, really? You guys are actually getting on my nerves. Microdose. I macrodose everything now. Advil? Haven't had a headache in years. Pepper? There's no good reason to macrodose pepper, but I do it anyways. Has its consequences, though, when large doses of Viagra makes you heavily sexually active, which sucks because my wife isn't. So why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Why'd I tell that story? Stuff is incredible, though. I was going to say something, but I can't. Damn it. That would have been good, but I can't say it. I actually can't say that one. What else? How are you guys doing? You know what? Oh, hey. You want one of these? Used to be a cop, for a little while, whatever. Maybe you're still a cop. You get one of these, okay? dgoldenbadge.com. You have to be RCMP, though, or an auxiliary or whatever. If you went to depot, okay? Plated, gold plated. And there's a website out there called clintonjaws.com. Don't even bother. Guys, will you call the hotline? Even though I haven't been on here, you're allowed to call it 604-330-2512. Okay? Call it. I like hearing from you. Applicants, civilians, cops. I wrote down pay less. And I don't know why I did. You know what? I don't even know if I want to talk about that. Maybe I'll be honest. Okay. I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy. I started doing comedy again. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for me. Why? Why would that be a big deal? Because I love it. I suck, but I love it. I love the world. I love the comedy world. It's something that I probably should have got into when I was 18, 19. But I'm doing it now. And I know it takes 10,000 hours to be funny. I know I'm looking at 10 years to be funny. But I don't care. I just want an hour of good material. So I started doing it again. And this is why. In 2020, I went on the stage for the first time and got destroyed. I did my bits in front of a book reading club. 19 girls, one guy. That guy's a genius, isn't he? You want to pick up chicks? You join a book reading club. And it was horrific. It was one of the most horrific moments of my entire life. It has created this stage fright that is so overwhelming. It actually did. You want to talk about traumatic? It was traumatic. So it completely screwed me up. So why are you doing it now, Clint? Okay, I'll tell you why. I Googled. Get this. I Googled performing okay, so later this month I'm performing in front of 150 people. So I Googled that. Can I take anything for performing in front of 150 people? And this medication popped up, and I'm like, So I call up my doctor. He's like, yeah, I can get you that medication. Absolutely. And he starts telling me about it. And he goes, you know what's funny about this medication? It also treats PTSD. I'm like, no way. That's what it was created for, I think. I think he said that. This is what the medication does. Gets rid of stage fright. It's a beta blocker. It blocks your adrenaline. Right, eh? Like, right. Give me a break. No more shaky voice. No more shaky hands. That's what it's supposed to do. You take it an hour before you go to perform. And I did it. I took it and I did it. And I did not care. It's the most incredible drug, medication, that I think I've ever taken in my entire life. And why did I tell you that? I wasn't going to tell you that. But I told you that. Cops should be taking it. Gets rid of the adrenaline? And I'm like, doctor, how can this be good? Is this all right? Is this good? But could you imagine being on it while you're in a pursuit or something like that? And I was shocked. I was shocked when I was about to perform the other night that I didn't care. I felt like me again. Weird. Like I would walk down, when I was a cop, I'd walk down a sidewalk. I'd walk down a back alley. I was not concerned or worried about anything. I was thinking about Lucki the other day. Remember Brenda Lucki? I can't get her out of my head. I started thinking about when I was like 16, 17, or 18. I can't remember what it was, but I worked at Payless Gas. I used to fuel up. I got worms on the toilet. Payless Gas. Guys, do not use a public washroom, okay? I actually got worms on the toilet seat. Anyways, I'm working there. And I'm a good worker. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a damn good worker. But the boss made sure that he always wanted to see you doing something, okay? Back then you had to pump their gas or he would get livid. He wouldn't be happy with you. So I remember I begged a guy to put diesel in his tank because I knew I would get in trouble if I didn't. And he's like, no, I really not. It spills over. I got it. It spilled over and he went, F. He got really mad at me and he said, I'm sorry I got mad at you. Anyways, one day I'm working there and a guy comes in and I grab the pump and he goes, oh man, take a break. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, I am worried about it. I kind of have to. He goes, no, I got it. I'd like to do it myself. I'm like, okay. So I go and I just kind of stand there. Didn't want his windshield done. Didn't want his gas pumped. And I'm just standing there. I'm just looking at him. The boss pulls in. I'm in big trouble. Okay. And why am I telling you this? I get fired. I get fired because I got into a fight and I broke my wrist. And it was his excuse to fire me. And I found him and I said, why'd you fire me? He hired Gay J in town to replace me. And I said, why'd you fire me? Well, you remember the other day? I pull in, you're just standing there. And I'm like, idiot. He told me he didn't want his gas pumped. Okay? And I started thinking about that today. It's just bosses that ruin things, is it not? Like I think about the RCMP. It's just, it's the bosses that ruin the RCMP. It's Brenda Lucki that has ruined the RCMP. Yes, it was bad before her. But what about now? She comes in, runs in, calls everybody racist. You're all racist, cops. And then she leaves. Without explanation. Are we still racist, Brenda? Did you fix it? Can we say that systemic racism is no longer in the RCMP? That's all you did was focus on it. And now you're just going to piss off and not address it? You came up with 17 initiatives. Did you fix it? Can I have a statement about systemic racism? Does it still exist? Because that'd be pretty sick if you took off without fixing it. Because what did you do your entire term? Can anybody tell me what this lady did her entire term? Can you tell me anything good? She worked on a fairy tale. So she has a right. She has a obligation to say I fixed it. There's no longer systemic racism in the RCMP. But no. Because we all know, right? We all know it's phony baloney. It'll be here for the next 150 years. Systemic racism ain't going anywhere. Even though it doesn't exist. And if it still exists and you didn't fix it, what the hell is wrong with you? Your entire workload was on this stupid fable. And you just go bye-bye. Nobody's applying. Nobody wants to become an RCMP cop. Like, good job. Good job. And there's other police officers on the news applauding her work. But yet they won't tell you what she did that was so good. I sit back, I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, wow. How can you feel good about yourself? You know what? Idiot. Heidi Stevenson gets killed by Wortman. You think she would, maybe focus on this a little bit? Heidi Stevenson wasn't allowed to use a carbine. She wasn't allowed to use a machine gun. She's going out the door that day to find Wortman, sees a carbine, not allowed to pick it up. She didn't pass her course. She didn't pass her carbine course. Think about that. Think about that for a second. Would things be different if Heidi was allowed to use the carbine? Could you imagine saying to a police officer, you're not allowed to take that. You didn't get high enough on the test. Every cop has a right to a machine gun. I don't care what you have to do. It's easy. Do you know how easy it is to give every cop a carbine? Screw the test. Fix it. That's what I would have fixed instantly. Easy stuff like that. Could you imagine? Could you imagine saying to a cop, Billy's allowed to use the carbine. See ya, Billy. You're not allowed to use it. You didn't get high enough on the score. Okay, on the test. Could you imagine? I'm going out to hunt for a murderer, and I can't grab probably the best tool that a police officer has. Brain dead. I met a cop. Used to be my buddy. And he came back at midnight in Port Alberni and he's like, yeah, I failed the carbine test. I failed the course. I don't think he ever went back for it. It's grueling. You don't fail anybody. If you're a police officer, you don't fail them. It's the easiest thing to shoot. I mean, if you're going to fail them on the carbine, then you have to fail them on their pistol because there's no way they're good at the pistol if they're failing the carbine. Yeah, something like that. I probably shouldn't have told you about the comedy thing, but oh my God, this ain't funny, but I'm not a good flyer. I'm a terrible flyer, like horrific. I think I already told you this. I can't tell you it. My kids, they're going to watch this one day. Maybe I'll edit it out. But I smoke dope, okay? I take 2 drags and, maybe a few times a week. Maybe, I didn't even do it this week. Like hardly ever. 2 drags, that's all I ever take. And I'm in Nanaimo, about to get on the plane, and it's windy. Gale force winds. And I call up the woman. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm scared. So I pull out the marijuana to do 2 drags, and while I'm doing it, I can feel the wind up against my back. Like we're in a bay. We're in a bay, a covered bay, protected bay. And the wind's almost knocking me over. I'm like, so I finish the joint. I smoke the whole thing. All of it. Okay. I've never done that before. And I get in the plane. And I don't feel high. I'm not. But my heart rate. It's going through the roof. It's double, triple. It's going through the goddamn roof. I got my music blaring in my ears. We're about to take off. And we take off in the bay of Nanaimo, like Departure Bay. And it does one of these, but it is going, and I'm grabbing onto it. The lady in front of me is grabbing onto her seat, and I'm not looking. I got my eyes closed. And it's just complete, utter hell. Terrifying. Little box up in the sky. It's not even right. 15 minutes, that's all it was, but pure panic. We finally land. And I step onto the wharf, and I am high as F. It hit me. I'm like, oh my God. I am screwed up. I can't remember a thing. I almost walked back into the office to get my departure back to, I thought it was the next day. I was actually thinking that. I'm like, Clint, you haven't even done anything yet in Vancouver. I go to my hotel room and go to sleep. Wake up like 4 hours later. It's terrible. It was terrible. Let's talk about 2 current events. Then I'm going to take 2 calls. You guys got to call more. 604-330-2512. Guys, I'm telling you right now, Canada's losing their mind. Look at this. Canadian regulator launches public consultation on banning Fox News from cable packages. They want to ban Fox News. The CRTC wants to ban Fox News. First of all, do you guys even watch Fox News? It's kind of hard to find. I can't find it. Okay, I watch it online. It's always been hard to find in Canada. It's really not definitely not included in the basic package. They don't like what Tucker Carlson had to say about Canada. The guy talks the truth 90% of the time. He's interesting. But they want to ban it. Who wants to ban it? Trudeau wants to ban it because he bashes Trudeau. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You got to see what they say. Some people complained, guys. That's why. Now, who's complaining about it? Well, millions of people, of course, right? If they're going to consider this, it's millions upon millions of people in Canada that are complaining about it, right? Look at this. More than 160 comments regarding the removal of Fox News has been submitted so far. 160 comments. Out of how many millions in Canada? 160 comments. What is that? That's a few. That's less than a few, but let's just say it's a few. Many of which are in favor of the move, or, get this one, deeply opposed to it. So it's mixed? So what? So really, what we're talking about one person? And they're considering it? Like, how can you not have a problem with that? That's insane to me. One person complains, and they're going to consider this. Canadians will have until June 2nd to voice their opinion on whether or not Fox News and its programming should be removed from the airways in Canada. They're considering it over one person complaining about it. What happens if 5 people complain about it? You know where this is going, right? Goofy. I just wanted to show you that. I just wanted to bring it up to you. I just can't believe how controlled we are. Like, we're not allowed to listen to what a guy has to say? Why? What is Trudy so well, we know what he's afraid of. But talk about, like, it's a communist country. It's turning into it. And I know those are strong words, but it's bonkers. Here's another thing that I thought was hilarious. Customers are being asked to tip even at self-checkout. You imagine? Some of these self-checkouts have a tip button and they're like, who's the tip go to? Isn't it annoying? I go to the beer and wine store and there's a tip option. Like, what are you talking about? How dumb is that? I don't even like it. I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I have to hit something. I bet you a lot of people feel that way. Well, I got to tip them. A self-checkout asking for a tip. I just want to use cash. I want to bring back cash. That's what I want to do. I just want to put $1,000 in my pocket and pay with cash. I just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was funny. Guys, let's take 2 calls here. 604-330-2512.
Hey, Mr. Jaws. Hopefully the sound quality is good.
Nope.
But just got a topic for you. You can talk on.
Topic.
If you got a list or whatever, but yeah, you can maybe talk about boring days and busy days. Like some days where you're doing nothing and you're just sitting around. Kind of patrolling or whatever you do. There's days, I think you got days where, okay, today I'm going to do traffic, or today I'm just going to watch a stop sign, and then if I get a call, I'll go to that, or whatever.
No, I didn't do traffic. I hated traffic. I respect traffic cops because they keep the roads safe, but I hated it. You know why I hated it? Because my mom started crying when I was like 6 years old when she was getting a ticket. And I think a lot of it's really stupid. Like my aunt got a ticket because her driver's license was at home. Shut up. Pure gorgeous driving record. Cop gives her a ticket because she didn't have it with her. Dumb.
And
And a cop gave my dad a ticket. He knew I was a cop in Duncan. I'm not telling that story right now.
You've talked about it as well, rural and city policing. I think you've talked about the difference. And yeah, talk about that if you haven't already. Yeah, just give me topic ideas. If I think of more, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
I know there's a little patch in time where I stopped listening to you for a little bit because you didn't have anything coming up, but now I'm back on it. And, hey, you got a lot for me to listen to. I like it. So,
Yeah.
Cheers. Have a good day. Bye.
Is that Buffalo Sables guy? Buffalo Sabres? Buffalo Sabres guy. You know what, man? I really don't have... please, call with topics. Guys, 604-330-2512. Call with topics. Boring days, busy days. I have nothing to say about that topic. I really don't. It was always busy. Okay, I shouldn't say it's always busy. You know what's funny? I hated The Office towards the end. Like, really hated it. I'd start my shift. I'd get all my paperwork. I'd get all the report to Crown Councils. And I'd just park somewhere in my car. And that was my office. I would do work on the road. Got in trouble for it all the time. I don't know why they need me in the office. They don't, but always got in trouble for it. You know, and honestly, you know, towards the end, I became a little sluggy. You know? Became a little sad. You know what I mean? I think that's what happens with a lot of members towards the end. They become a little sluggy. That's a good term for it. And I don't know why I told you that. Interesting. It was never boring. Okay, it was. Sometimes. But it wasn't boring. I mean, you would hope, you would pray for boring. I remember the best moments were if there was no calls coming in from 2 to 4. Oh, that was the best part. If you had a good group of people, you'd be sitting in the GD pit, the general duty pit. And you'd just be, I don't know, you'd be on YouTube, you'd be cracking jokes, talking about dead babies. I know you guys don't like it when I say that. That was the best part. The worst part is when it was 4 a.m. and you'd hear beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. What do you call that? The tone alert? Whatever that was? That would make you want to... Instant diarrhea. I'm like, oh no, it's 4 a.m. You would hope that it was a mistake or something. I remember that happened once. And we're waiting. We're all like this for the beeps to stop. Beep, 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 beep. Finally, the dispatcher gets on the horn and goes, mission members, we got a domestic in progress. We were like, yes, that's it. A domestic, thank God. I call her up and I'm like, what is that? Like, why are you doing the urgent alert alarm for a domestic? She told me they had to. And I said, don't do that. Okay? We all crapped our pants. I don't know. Boring days. Busy days. Busy days were... I know. I probably shouldn't say this, but... I had a guy in the back. I'd arrested him. It was the busiest night of my entire life. I'll never forget it. It was in Duncan. And there's a drunk driver in front of me. And I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see it. Just get me back to cells, please. I go to cells. I'm processing my guy. And we are done. Like, we can't believe how busy it was tonight. Domestic comes in and Russ Warren looks at me. And I said, no bloody way. I got a guy right now. And you could tell he was really hoping. I don't blame him. That I would go to it, but I didn't. It was always busy. It was always busy, but there was some moments where you just sit around. You're drunk, right? Especially a second night shift. You're just so out of it. You're drunk and you're funny and you're goofy. And that part I miss. I miss that part, definitely. Hanging out with the guys or the girls. You know, there's some pretty cool chicks in the RCMP. Great personalities. Some of them are attractive. And that makes the night go by. You got something to look at. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Maybe I'll work on that topic more. Let's play a sad one.
Hey Clint, how's it going? So I heard back from the RCMP about my, RMAC.
Okay, this guy's a black boy, and he calls often. And he just got his RMAC results. And I was worried about this, but I didn't say this to him. What's an RMAC? It's a questionnaire. Okay, you got to fill out a questionnaire. I don't know, there's like 100 questions, Have you ever engaged in bestiality? Well, of course I have. Who doesn't do that? Like shit, stuff like that. Have you ever done drugs? How's your driving? Okay, he's going to tell you what happened.
And I got it.
He's passed his interview, by the way.
And I got a 3-year deferral because the reason being apparently, one, my driving history is concerning because I had a few tickets, like a couple tickets like 2 years ago. And then I also had, apparently I wasn't forthcoming about my police interactions in terms of my driving history when I literally told them about everything.
Okay. He got a 3-year deferral for driving. He got a 3-year deferral, I think, because he divulged something that was current. So they gave him 3 years. They're saying he wasn't forthcoming about some information. I think there was a police file. The police officer wrote some notes in it. I don't know what that was. And they're saying, well, you didn't say anything about that part. You didn't divulge that part. I'll give you an example. Let's say you admit to them that, yeah, I got a ticket, but you didn't say your car got towed. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, dude. That would really suck. Why are they doing this? Why don't they just do the RMAC? Why does it take him so long to get his results? When you're on the phone with these applicants, you know if they're going to be deferred or not. Just tell them right away. Why not just do the RMAC before the interview like you used to do it?
It's like, why would I lie about that if they have my driving record pulled up? You know what I mean? But apparently that's another reason. So they deferred me 3 years for that. So I guess that's it for the RCMP at least. I'm going to apply to other police services that I currently work for. And, I think I have a better chance getting in with them. But it's been a nice ride with the RCMP. I guess they're looking for, squeaky clean people. Sometimes they hire criminals, but sometimes can't have a driving record, I guess. I get what they're saying, though. But we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated. Still waiting on the podcast, though. Just because I got deferred doesn't mean I'm not going to listen to your podcasts.
Damn right.
But take care, buddy.
You take care. And it's crushing. It's crushing news. I feel for you. I feel your pain. I feel your hurt. It's too bad. I remember when you were telling me about your driving. I was a little worried about it, but I'm not going to tell you that. Because what's that? I don't know. What's that going to do, right? Driving will get you. It almost got me. I passed a cop on a double line. Ghost car. Gave me 2 tickets. 6 points. I was probably lucky I failed the test the next month. Because I wasn't going to become a cop. Driving will get you. Cruise control, people. Cruise control. Put your phone in the glove box if you want to become a police officer. I think that's it. I hope you call back, dude. 604-330-2512. Gonna go upstairs. Look for my Viagra. I don't even know why I'm doing it. I guess it makes me feel like a man. You know what? It makes me feel like I'm 18 again. I'll tell you that. And that's a good feeling. Thanks for watching. Going to Vancouver Tuesday. Tomorrow. Catch a flight. It's an early flight, though. Flat calm. Beauty. It'll be good. I'll take some of that drugs that the doctor gave me. That'll work. Definitely. Bye-bye.
What's that?